What's up, guys? Hey, listen up, man. When this Nick Cannon news came out, of course I contemplated how I would go about addressing this. Would I say anything at all? Would I take the opportunity to defend this black man? And by the way, the reason why I was contemplating not saying anything at all is just because one, I'm not all that educated on what he was speaking on in the first place. And two, I'm trying to remove myself from these celebrities until I figure out who is a part of the pedophilia ring. All right. So the only reason why I want to speak on this is because it's a lesson to black people. All right. And of course, if you aren't black, you can find a way to apply this to your own life. But I need black people to understand one thing only. You being unapologetically black will have a limit on it depending on what position you are in. All right, let's talk about it. All right, you see Nick Cannon, he said what he said. And, he tried to paint himself as an unapologetic black man. And, Viacom let him know how they feel about that one. So essentially, he canceled himself. All right. So, and as people try to back him up or talk down on him for going back on his word and apologizing and things like that. Let me explain something, because also he deleted a lot of his pro-black videos and posts on Instagram. Well, and let me tell you guys something, because he's better off than a lot of us, even though he has a boss. And by the way, the man has leverage, and with leverage, man, it comes with a power of its own. So that's one of the first things I was thinking anyway, is like, man, he got leverage. You know what I'm saying? He could do his own thing. He could start his own thing. Now, I'm pretty sure they put a lot of fear in us black people. Pretty much so that if we try to get away from the plantation, they'll kill us. Come on now. You don't think people in the NBA haven't been thinking about trying to start their own thing? You don't think LeBron James ain't thinking about starting his own league? Take all the money away from the NBA. You don't think there'll be repercussions for that? Come on now. It's a big business out here, and people kill over big. Don't think that this country is built on moral grounds. How was America founded, quote unquote founded? All right. So let's not get carried away here. But with that being said, people, there are limits to how unapologetic you can be, depending on who you're under. It's limited by who you are under. You know what I'm saying? Basically, biting the hand that feeds you. Well, they say, well, guess what? We ain't going to feed you no more. I can't tell you how his life is going to end up. I'm just speaking on what's going on now. And so, you got to understand, Nick Cannon got to where he was. Of course, he put in the effort. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take anything away from him being just a hustler for quite some time. But make no mistake about it, every platform he used was white owned. All right? That you know what I'm saying? Simple as that. From Cameo to on Keenan and Kel, to all that, to in no particular order, but Wildin' Out, Masked Singer, before that, America's Got Talent. And as soon as you say something that they don't like, they'll make you pay for it. They own the platform. You're not like Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling owned the Clippers. He was forced to sell his team. He didn't give it up. It was his team. It wasn't taken from him. He was just forced to sell it at a record price. A price that no other team has been sold for in any sport. $2.1 billion. And guess what he didn't have to do? Apologize. Now, I don't know if he did or not. I don't think that he, I really don't think that he did, but guess what? He didn't have to. Because, what's the point in having fuck you money if you don't get to say fuck you, as they say on Billions? Alright? Because when you the owner, you can do whatever you want, and you ain't gotta apologize. And that's a message to all of you. You want to tell your boss where he can stick it? Well, you got to replace him, and you replace him with you. That's the answer. You become the boss. Then you get to tell him what to do. But if you're relying on somebody and you telling them they can, kiss my ass or whatever you want to say, the blowbacks will come. And don't act like your bosses ain't watching you. All right? You can't go to your job and tell your boss where to stick it, because guess what? By the time you finish saying what you're going to say, you ain't going to have a job no more. All right? Is that the way you want to? In fact, people get fired for much less. All right? You find out very quick when you got an opinion of something of how much your job is a dictatorship. And that's why I don't really want to have anything to do with a boss. That's just not my mentality. I don't like people flexing on me like this. Playing with me like that. I remember when I was working in construction, right? I'm not opposed to jokes and things like that, but of serious matters, come on now. So I had it was the assistant superintendent, and he was like 21, 22. I was like 26. 26? Yeah. So he's about like, I'm 29 now, he's probably about 24. That's about the math. And he feeling himself. He got himself a great job, assistant superintendent at 21, 22. Come on now. In construction, like he was doing pretty well. And so he make a joke like, I'm gonna need you to give me your gear, basically. Playing around with my livelihood. Playing around with my livelihood. And I couldn't tell him what I really wanted to say, cause then they might find a way to actually fire me, which they did. But I couldn't tell him, like, hey bro, why are you even playing like that? Why are you playing like that? That's not the type of life I want to be a part of, and I don't want nobody deciding how much I'm gonna get paid. The same dude, the same day that I got hired, he would say, we gonna pay you what you're worth. Trust me, you won't. You can't pay me what I'm worth. You could pay me $100 an hour, and that ain't enough. Come on now. You ain't gonna pay me anything close to what I'm worth, buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and earn as close to what I'm worth than what anybody else can give me. All right, that's for damn true. All right, but that's the moral of the story is ownership. Okay, so, and I don't want to go too much into this, but because I made a video on reparations and things like that. People still think it's money for nothing, but trickle down economics is what it is for a reason. Per capita, black people are at the bottom for a reason, and black entrepreneurship is what can eradicate that. I mean, look at all these fields where going back to plantation fields where white wealth has been made off of black labor. It's still happening today. Yeah, you see these NBA players get paid millions of dollars, but that's because the owners are making billions, okay? If the owners weren't making billions, these players wouldn't be getting millions, all right? And then you got the prison business, because that's what it is. Now you got California with their fake ban on privatized prisons, capitalizing on slaves. Because that's what it is. That's what the 13th Amendment says. I didn't make that up. 13th Amendment said you still slaves. We just gotta find a way to get your ass in jail. You don't think they're gonna find a way to use a loophole for that? And I know what you might be saying. There are more white people in jail than black people, but at what rate? See, now we're talking about rate. When I was talking about per capita, now I'm talking about the rate at which black people are locked up. And because, you have to pay a fine for not reaching a certain level of occupancy, naturally they want to keep them in there as long as possible. Enter Joe Biden, who worked with the Clintons, and they passed a nice little law that helped keep black people in prison for as long as possible, which it's very ironic because black people like to see Bill Clinton. Oh, he's so cool, smoke weed and got head. He the real first black president, and everybody think, oh, Joe Biden, that's my Uncle Joe. Please, man, don't flex your ignorance like that. Don't do that. But yeah, so slave labor, making big money off of that. Ain't no black people making no money off of that. Oh yeah, the black people in prison, what they get? 80 cents an hour to make jeans for Walmart or clothes for Walmart, for Levi's and stuff, making license plates and all those things. All right. So to sum this all up, I done said it a couple times, but I can't stress it enough. If you want to say, if you want to be able to say what you want, if you want to be unapologetic, you need to be the boss. You need to be a boss. All right? So you can say fuck you at any given moment. I don't need this. That's the goal. The fact that somebody can acquire so much wealth and still be up under somebody who he can't call, somebody he would want to speak out against is beyond me. I don't know, them dollar signs, man, be having you thinking. We have you not thinking. Cut your brain off real fast, darting towards that money. All right, so you really need to take a lesson from that, guys. That's all I need to say. I'm not about to come on here and defend him or anything like that. Don't ask me if I agree or not. I don't give a fuck. All right. That's his own problem to work out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't stand for black people, because I definitely do. But you got to understand the rules of the game before you hop into it. It's as simple as that, man. He knew what was going to happen. All right, best wishes.